June 6th, 2025, so it's the 81st day of the Normandy invasion. Kind of predicted that it was Normandy. I wasn't even thinking about it because, I'll allude to it now, but I mentioned it about the blow-up army, but I'll mention it in the future. But anyways, so this video is about sports advice. So the whole thing about sports advice is all psychology, right? It's like the more you psychologically know about your opponent, the better off you're gonna do, right? Like if you can anticipate what they're gonna do, then you're gonna have a better chance for defenses. So first of all, like mainly it's square up is one good technique. Oh, I can't really show it here, unfortunately. Maybe this cup I could show you, but the square up. Do that. Maybe here. But so just sit down. But the square up, like so, just say the basketball net's there, right? So you wanna square up your shoulders. When I say square up, like it's like this, like so you want to square up. So you want to go like that. So you'd be taking a shot, like so you're gonna square up, right? So now if you're dribbling, then you want like the basketball net's out where you're gonna square up. Your shoulders are pointing at your target, right? So when you throw a football, it's the inside. Drew Bledsoe told me this, but it's the inside of your shoulder points to your target. It'll make you more accurate at any throwing, right? But at the same time, so now if you're on defense, you're wondering what the quarterback's going to do. Watch his shoulders. Watch his shoulders. When he's like this, he's going to throw in that direction. He has to, right? He can't throw unless he throws sidearm, but he's not going to be accurate, right? For him to be accurate, he's going to be squared up, and now he's going to throw in that direction. Because whatever your hips do, see how my hips are moving? What my hips do, my shoulders have to do eventually. If not, I'm going to be off balance and then be inaccurate. So always square up and do what you would do when you're anticipating what your opponent's going to do. Like just say you're boxing, right? It's like, okay, and then now he throws like this, and now right here is wide open on him. It's like, okay, so now he's likely to punch me there, so I could hit him there, right? So anticipate, do what you would do, and then you know how to protect yourself. So now if you're vulnerable, it's like, okay, I know I'm open here, I punch him here, so he's likely to punch me there, so I'm gonna crouch down so he hits here, right? So anticipate what they're gonna do by knowing what you would do in those situations or what your opponent would do to you in those situations, and then you'll improve your game defensively. And put 100% effort in plays that you can make, and the rest of the time think of positioning for defense. Like so in soccer, for instance, like you see the guys are sprinting, they're running as fast as they can, and you know what's going to go to the goalie, then the goalie's going to kick away over their head, so they waste all this energy. Like it's one thing if you could hunt them down, you could pursue, make a slide tackle. Oh, ball, it's beautiful. It's like, once I'm king of the world, you're gonna get an award for like the best side tackle of the year or the most slide tackles, because slide tackles like all ball. It's like such a beautiful play. Just you slide down, it's like you take the ball, it's beautiful, gorgeous play defensively. But so if you could run down the guy, like if you know your opponent how fast they are, if you could hunt them down, run down the ball and get them, right? But if not, don't think of positioning. After it goes to the goalie, they're going to kick it back. So you want to think about defensive positioning. So you have a line of defense, or like if you're a defender, like say you're a defensive lineman and they get the ball, you're never going to run. You're never going to run down a wide receiver. You're never going to catch them, right? So why would you waste all your energy on that play to run down? You're going to be on the sidelines. You're going to be out of breath. You're going to be on the sidelines. So think about defensive positioning. Should they make a fumble and now the ball comes back, now you're able to block, right? So you're going to be strategically thinking about blocking, but you're going to be saving your energy for later on in the game, like in the fourth quarter, right? Like just like in soccer, like if I was a soccer coach, all I would focus on is passing and time of possession. I wouldn't care about shots on goal or anything. All I would do is just pass back and forth. I try to get, like, just say this is the Just say that's the fast guy right there. You can't really see my hand, so like right there. So just see the Moby's and the timer right there is, I just pass back and forth. I get the guy, so he's running there. He's going back and forth. The fast guy's going back and forth. We're just passing around, making them dance around. And then they're going to be wasting all this energy in the first half of the game. And then our energy reserves are going to be there in the second half of the game. And then we're going to win and we're going to create more opportunities. And in hockey, I do the same thing. I just outpass them. I try to pass the most. I'd focus on having the highest pass and accuracy and body checks. I'd like sometimes I'd let them get the ball, like the puck, just to line up the body check. Because if I hit him hard with the body check, I'm going to knock him down on the ice. Then that player's out of the game for a few seconds. I grab the puck, I pass it to my teammate, we get an odd man rush, we score a goal. Right, so I'd line up like in hockey games. They would have the puck like this. I'd line up like this, and I'd always like boom, and hit them, body check, knock them down on the ice, get the puck, and go score a goal. Right. So time of possession in hockey, all I would focus on is time of possession, passing, and body checks. I wouldn't care about shots on goal or anything like that because they're all like, if I own time of possession, I'm going to get more shots on goal. If I outpass them, I'm going to get more shots on goal. And if I out check them, I'm going to get more shots on goal. Like during the regular season, it does pay dividends, but really it pays dividends in the playoffs because like the Philadelphia Flyers normally have a tough team, right? So game one, they're fast skaters, they're skating fast. Right, but game three, now when they go on the boards, they're a little bit nervous every time they're going on the boards because they know they're going to get banged up, right? So psychologically, you're in their head that you're going to dominate them. You're going to be a physical team, right? So if I was an NHL coach, I'd be like the most physical team. Like I'd want a 2A center and I'd want power forwards, like forwards that weren't afraid to body check. Like I would have chose Ovechkin over Crosby because Ovechkin, he gets a lot of body checks, right? And for his position, right? At first I used to think he was a puck hog, but he created enough scoring opportunities in the NHL that he's all-time goal leader because he created those scoring opportunities. So that being said, in soccer, like when you're young, if you're on, say here's the net right here, my head's the net. So if you're on the left side of the net, you want to kick with your left foot because you only have to make a quarter turn to make a shot off. Whereas if you're right-handed, you have to make a 3/4 turn around to make the shot, right? So you want to practice kicking with your left foot. And then if you're on the right side, you want to kick with your right foot. So that being said, same with passing now. Like, a little bit hard to show this here. Maybe I don't have something here. I'm just going to pause and go into the washroom because there's something I could show you in the washroom because I'm at the hospital. I can't film people, so, for privacy. So I'm going to just go in the washroom. So basically, though, when you're passing, it's all timing, right? When you get into a faster league, like if you go up in leagues, the league gets faster, so you get less opportunity to score goals or get these shots off. Right, that's why it's so impressive that Alexander Ovechkin would have so many shots on goal because it's so hard the game's fast. Like OHL, like you watch OHL, it's like the week before the NHL, and it's fast, it's very fast. And but you watch the NHL, it's going to be even faster, right? So it's even harder to get the shots off. Right, so now, like just say this is the ball coming to you. If I'm right-handed, like see, it'd be like this. If I kick with my right foot, I have to wait. The ball has to come, say, an extra 6 inches or a foot to get to my right foot before I can kick and pass. But if I'm ambidextrous, if I learn how to kick accurately with my pass with my left foot, I could kick. I save 6 inches to a foot being able to pass. So that means I'm able to get them off passes a lot faster, right? So that might be the difference between you getting drafted to FIFA or not, or Major League Soccer or not. Just that simple. Just being able to pass with your left or right side of the foot. So in baseball, like just say this is baseball. So I'm like this, I'm a batter like this. So now, if I want to hit down over the first baseline, my foot indicates where it's going to go. So my foot would be like that. If I want to hit center field, I'd place my foot like that. If I want to hit down the left line or whatever, my foot would be like that. So your foot indicates where the ball's going to go in baseball. And there's a drill. Everybody should do this. If you're an athlete, it doesn't, like if you're an athlete that requires speed, this isn't just for basketball, but there's the basketball game. You just grab a basketball or a soccer ball and you just go like this. But it works on your hand-eye coordination. If you do that, you're just going to be faster. Like it doesn't matter what, if you play tennis or whatever you do, you're going to be making these lateral moves faster, just like the suicide drills. When you do that, so do suicides, and then that. If you're a boxer even, or MMA, you'd want to do this. Because it's going to work on your hand-eye coordination and reflexes. So that being said, what else? Oh, so if you want to be a pro, once you have footage of your opponents, all you have to do is, you're getting paid money to be an athlete now, right? So your time and your off time, you got to watch game footage and know your opponents, right? Like, so tennis, you'd want to know, right now it's the Roland Garros or the clay tournament anyways. And so you'd want to know your opponent's weaknesses. Do they have a strong backhand, forehand? Right, if you're an NHL player, like, does the goalie have a good glove hand or blocker? Or if they have a poor blocker, always shoot on the blocker side. If they have a poor glove hand, always shoot on the glove hand side. Find out their weakness. And in soccer, if they're a tall goalie, they're going to have a hard time touching their toes. So you want to kick it low. But if they're a shorter goalie, they're going to have a hard time reaching up. So you'd want to kick it high, right? So you got to use psychology, strategy, right? Always strategy. And this could be the difference between prolonging your career, because your skills are going to diminish before your knowledge does. There's an expression like, like you talk to, like my dad used to say, I forgot more than you know, right? That's what an expert does. An expert forgets more than a novice knows, right? And the funny thing is, like my dad, he got hit by a truck, so he was shorter than he would have been, but he's like 5'9". So I was at 15, I was taller than him. So the first thing he started saying to me after that is like, dynamite comes in small packages. It's not the size of the dog, it's the size of the fight in the dog. Right? You psychologically get in my head, right? But it was awesome. Like I'd walk around corners and I'd have to dodge punches, and it was fantastic. I miss him. He died 24 years ago, pardon me. So baseball, so if you're a batter, right, I'd be watching all the pitchers. I'd be watching footage, all the footage. Like, so I'm playing, say, the Chicago White Sox, and I'm, say, the Toronto Blue Jays, or say the Toronto Blue Jays and the New York Yankees. So if I'm the Toronto Blue Jays, I'd be watching all the pitchers. Okay, so what does he like to do when he has 3 balls and 0 strikes? What does he like to do with a 3, like full count? What does he like to do when he has 0-2? What kind of pitches does he like? Because what baseball is, solid move is if you have a nasty, like if you have a good fastball and a nasty changeup is like 2 fast fastballs and then a changeup. Like, because the fastball's 90 miles an hour, then the changeup's like 50 miles an hour, so it comes in slow motion. So the batter almost always is ahead of the pitch, because it looks like a fastball, right? Or if you have a slider, right? A slider like breaks at the last second, so it starts up here, and then next thing you know, it's down by your knees, right? So you're gonna strike out at that point. And always misdirection with psychology, right? Like, so if you're in a street fight or any fight, you like, once again, your hips and your shoulders always do the same thing. But if you, like they say, look in your eyes or the shoulders, but I look right here at the solar plexus, because watch, like I throw a kick, you can see my shoulder plexus move. I throw a punch, my shoulder plexus move. So I always look right there. I'm like looking right there, and then so as soon as they move, I know I get that faster reaction time, because I see that split second movement in their chest before their hips or the shoulders have a chance to react and hit me. So at one point, when my son was born, I knocked out 13 guys with 13 punches,
because they were challenging me, and they threw exactly 0 punches because I followed that strategy. And also shoulders for, let's see, quarter turns. Oh, so psychology and misdirection. Like in World War II, the Brits, what they did, like today's the invasion of Normandy. You know how the Brits, the Americans, the Allies won the war, but the main reason why they won the war was the misdirection from the Brits. Like sure, it was the American military power, but what the Brits did was they had an inflatable army. So the Germans were flying their planes, and they had a blow-up army. So they had blow-up tanks, like life-size tanks, life-size airplanes that were just air balloons. So they blew them up. So the Germans seen this. So like just say the Germans were expecting them to attack here, but we came from this side, right? They came from that direction, or we came like so they're expecting them to come from here. We came from this side, so we totally like a sucker punch. We sucker punched them because they were expecting us to hit them where we weren't going to hit them with misdirection. Right? Misdirection always wins. Right? You always do what your opponent doesn't want to do, then you're likely to win, right? And like in poker, like because poker is a sport to me, and it's a psychological sport. It's like a war sport. If you're good at poker, you're good at war, because in poker, you're all in with 7 deuce, the worst possible hand, right? But you're stone cold. You're stone cold, right? You're putting all your chips in, and then your opponent's like, oh shit, what do I have? What do I have, right? And he's indicating that he has it, right? And then you show them the 7 deuce afterwards, and they're like, oh, right? And then their instinct is to try to pay you back, right? So right there, psychologically, you're in their head. So now you wait back, and they're gonna try to bluff you. So you get ready to punch them in the mouth, like you counter punch them in the mouth, because they're gonna want to bluff you back. Like he got me, I want to get him. That's human psychology, right? If somebody gets you, you want to pay them back, right? That's why they say with revenge, you dig 2 graves, one for you and one for them. Right, so let's see, tennis. Oh, so tennis, right? Like, so once again, if you want psychologically, I love tennis. It's like physical agility chess, basically agility chess. I love football, American football and Canadian football, because it's like physical chess, right? Because you can psychologically get in their head, right? There's the play action and what have it, and defensive audibles and what have you. But with tennis, it could be like left. So baseline, then other side, right? Or baseline, and then a soft one just over the net, right? So left, right, or right, left, right. Deep in, right? So psychologically get in their head and jump. Like as soon as they're out of position, then it's like, okay, like if their legs are crossed like this and they're doing it backhand, they're never going to be able to go over there. So now your return is always going to be opposite to what their agility is able to do efficiently. Let's see. Oh, so one thing I used to do, and I used to get lots of steals in basketball, and I'd get interceptions, was I'd fake. Like, just say I wanted them to pass over here, I'd lean over this way. I'd pretend I'd be further this side because I wanted them to throw there. So I'd create a lane for them to pass here. And then as soon as I knew they were going to pass here, so I'd all stop there, get the ball, get the steal or the interception, right? So you psychologically get in your opponent's head. And say, know your opponent's range. And forehand, okay, that's suicide drills. And so the last thing for hockey, even for hockey, squaring up, right? Like what you do here. So here's the hockey stick, right? So once again, it's where your shoulders are, but it's the flat part of the stick. Now the flat part of the stick is where the puck is going to be. So that's where your shoulders are going to be, like where your hips are. And then your shoulders, like so you be like here, like so say this is my stick, it's going to be like that. So like it looks like it's going there, but the puck's really going to go over here. So if I wanted to aim for there, I go like that, and this angle's going to hit right up, right to the Moby's end. Right, so you always want to square up, but you want the flat part. You're thinking the squaring up, but it's with your shoulders, but the stick, most importantly, you're thinking the flat part on the stick where it's not curved, is you want it to, the flat part is going to be able to do that. So with very little hockey practice, I had maybe 6 hours of hockey practice doing that. I was able to hit the puck marks, like an inch or two off the puck marks on the boards, right? Just by squaring up and creating a triangle with my legs, and then keeping the flat part of the stick. And so one thing I didn't realize, they were kind of diminishing me at the time, but what you would do with a slap shot, you want to aim slightly above the ice, like a millimeter or two above the ice, so there's no friction. Because if you hit the ice, you're going to be dragging along the ice, and then you're going to have less velocity for your slap shot. So anyways, I think that's about it. So yeah, watch the quarterback. So yeah, if you're on defense, once again, in football, watch the quarterback's shoulders, because once he gets his arm back, wherever his shoulders are pointing, he's going to be in that zone. He has to throw there, right? If not, he's going to be thrown off balance, and then he's not accurate, right? Very few quarterbacks can throw sidearms accurately, right, out of position, right? So watch their shoulders. And then specifically, if you see where the inside part of his shoulder is, if you can see that, that's where the ball's going to go every time. Every time. It's physics. The ball's it has to go that way. It has to go that way, right? That's why it's important to square up. So once again, in basketball, like, so my head's been in basketball. So if I'm like this, I'm going to miss, because I'm going like that. But now if I'm like this, I have a higher likelihood of hitting, because I'm squared up because of my shoulders. So remember, your hips always do what your shoulders are going to do. Your shoulders are always going to do what your hips are going to do. What your hips are going to do, and it's physics. Like, they have to. Like, look at when I'm moving. I'll show you here if you can't really see it. But watch my hips. Watch my hips, then my shoulders. When I move my hips first, see how I move my hips first? My shoulders have to do it. What my hips are doing. So my hips are going left, so my shoulders have to go left. Like, I could try to twist it like that, but look at, now see how I'm twisted here. Now in football, if I get hit here, I'm gonna have backgrounds, because I'm going opposite to what the natural physicality of my physics wants me to do with my body. So my hips go here. So once again, so with boxing, so it's like this. So with boxing and karate, they teach you all momentum. So I post this in another video. So I'll show you here. So in boxing, there's a jab, right? So it's like I'm right-handed, so it'd be like jab, jab, jab. So now watch when I throw the right. Now I go like that. See how much more range I get? So that's why in a street fight or boxing, you always want to throw your jab. You throw the jab, and then as soon as you land with the jab, you throw a hard punch. You're not throwing your hardest, because the funny thing with a punch is, if you miss with a punch, it's almost like you took a punch. So you never want to throw your hardest. You're just trying to make contact, because really it only takes 40 pounds of pressure to knock somebody out. A guy like Chuck Liddell, he hits 1,500 pounds, right? So it's overkill. People get hit harder than what they need to. So you're just trying to make contact, stiff contact, just a stiff punch, like a stiff shot of whiskey, right? Just a stiff punch. So that being said, with karate momentum, it's like I throw a punch like this. Like, so now see, I'm in MMA, I come like that. I have all kinetic energy, like a catapult. All the torque in my body is lining up for me to make a right hand movement. Right, so I can come with the knee, I can come with the kick, I can come like that. And then now, when I step like that, now my body's poised for the left. Right, so always momentum. And then that being said, so now, just say the guy's throwing a punch like this, or grab his wrist, he's out of balance, he's off balance. So then you can make a judo throw, right? All psychology, all momentum. Remember, people mastered this before you were born. Anyways, share this video, and I hope it helps you. And go to www.change.org/technology. Privatize my mind, because I should be the true king, and I'm going to make the world awesome. Pro sports is rigged. Gambling's rigged. I put a guy on a straight flush. I got 25 views on YouTube, 0 likes. Enough of the secret hating.